America snap as Europe boycotts American tourists. Let's get into this video, but first,
hype me up. Hype me up. Hype me up.
Straight up, man.
Hey MAGAs, this is for you. This is a PSA for you guys. Please don't travel to Europe. But if you do decide to travel to Europe, please wear your MAGA hat and please record yourself because they despise you out there. And I would love to see the reactions with you wearing your MAGA hat. Please do it.
You know, I get the idea that people abroad have a better sense of the world than Americans do, right? For instance, if you talk to people who are from like Europe, when they come here, they have been to way more places than us. Sometimes, a lot of times, they speak multiple languages, which means that they're more cultured than us, probably more accepting of new things than us, and maybe have a little bit more empathy. But the MAGA people, you can never charge them with it. Man, how many MAGA people you know are bilingual by any chance? I'm just saying, bro. I'm just saying. They ain't the brightest people in the world.
One of the least talked about things that should be talked about way more is how wildly unpopular Donald Trump is outside of the United States, especially with some of our #1 allies, like countries in Europe. And I'm not saying this just to dunk on Trump and go, look, they don't like him. But trust us, because they are not only our military allies, but they're our economic allies. They're the way in which we operate in a global society together. And the Republican Party is now moving in this direction where they go, well, that doesn't matter. You know why they're saying it doesn't matter? Is because they're looking at these numbers and going, they don't know anything. We're great. You're not great. And one of the most important things that the next administration, whoever it is, needs to do is repair this damage, because this is extremely bad. Even in circumstances like now, where we're entering into a conflict that we probably should not be entering into. We did that back in 2003 in Iraq, and a number of these countries assisted us during that war. Don't think that's going to happen again. Yet another thrilling example of how Donald Trump is doing some pretty systemic damage to this country.
Dude fucking over us, man. Whole world hates us now. Nobody's going to come help the bully. That's just simple common sense right there. We the bully in their eyes, dog. So they ain't coming to save us or help us from the problems that we created from messing with the people we deem as lesser than, dog. And we, meaning them, not me. I ain't had nothing to do with that. You know what I'm saying?
I think the MAGA right have created a massive industry on saying that, for example, London is a complete hellhole and it's a basket case, and Europe, you can't cross the road without getting permission from an official and all this sort of nonsense. Europe is, I would argue, particularly now, but I would argue even without Trump, Europe is a better place than the United States of America. I'm sorry to break that to you, but it's more beautiful. It's more cultured.
You guys don't even have dryers.
What? What do we have?
You don't even have dryers. How do you dry your clothes? You're still using a hanging line for drying your clothes. They don't put ice in the drinks.
Sorry. I will argue anything you want about Europe. Europe is Europe greater than USA. Okay. Where you're doing really, really well is in stuff like tech. And, you know, yeah, great. If you want to have Elon Musk running your economy and you want him to be completely free of any sort of regulatory oversight, then fine. But I think what you'll find, I think I saw Keir Starmer recently, and he did agree with the point you just made, that we are overregulated. There are too many regulations in too many areas of the economy. What you can't do is lose the values that we've got. The fact is, let me give you another thing. Our food is better than yours.
Yes, it is.
Because we do have higher standards of what you can put into it. Yes, in Britain. But London, listen, don't give me that Republican-looking face either.
I was in Manchester last year, and it was hard to find a good meal, okay? It was hard to find a nice meal.
I think what he means is that our food is healthier than the U.S. food because these places who create the food are regulated. They can't put poison in the food, things that researchers and scientists have figured out a long time ago are linked to cancer. Right. And they still give it to us here. I think that's what he meant by that, dog. This is why a lot of people don't like American, dog, because he will quickly discount everything that the man just said, which is facts, and then be like, man, I couldn't even find a good meal out there. He's trying to save face, dog.
Why do MAGA people like to travel to other countries so much. Like, that makes absolutely no sense. And we all know these are racist people. Like, that's a no-brainer. But the amount of times that they belittle other people, yo, shithole country, this is America, stay out of my country, go back to your country. Like, the way that they treat other people, but also want to benefit off of other cultures. We see it here. Don't like Hispanic people, want to eat at Hispanic restaurants. Don't like black people, but want to watch black people play sports, right? Then it's like the amount of times I've been on a cruise or in, different islands and stuff like that. And these people are there and got the nerve to do shit like wear a MAGA hat. It's like,
yeah,
why are you even here, man? Such hypocrisy. And the funny part is people that represent this MAGA stuff are so my country, and you didn't even come here legally. What are you talking about? Like,
facts.
and I'm not even a Democrat. I don't belong to no party. I think all that shit is fucking stupid. But one thing that stands out is the amount of people that I see getting backlash now because they go to other countries and other countries are going, you from America? You voted for Trump, and now they don't want to talk about it. No,
you don't want to talk about
on that shit, because now you on the flip side of the coin to where you get to be discriminated against. Not used to that, huh? But I just find it very ironic that these people want to go to other people's countries, but when somebody come to this one, they got a problem with it. Man, fuck out of here.
I swear, bro, like the hypocrisy has to be studied, dog. Man, nah, man. I don't want them illegal browns and blacks coming over here. Then your stupid ass won't go over there and want to be treated fairly. You want people to open up with open arms. You know what I'm saying? Allow you to come into their space and be happy about it. And you wearing a MAGA hat. Crazy.
Trump is being protested all over the world. MAGA in Europe means make America go away.
Oh, wow.
Europe is also wondering, where are all the adults in the USA? And this sign, it's my favorite. It's fucking brilliant. The USA already has too much ice. Those are some of my favorite signs from a massive protest that took place at the US Embassy in Copenhagen, Denmark over the weekend, because Europe is fucking pissed. And today, Sunday, January 18th, the EU is meeting in an emergency capacity to try to figure out how they are going to respond to Trump's latest tantrum, where he's threatening to impose tariffs if they don't give him Greenland. And watching the people protest in Denmark and in Minneapolis, I think the real lesson here is that winter people are not to be trifled with. And look, I'm a Midwesterner. I grew up near Chicago, et maintenant j'ai un pied à terre à Québec, so j'aime l'hiver. I like winter, but I cannot winter like these people can winter. Look at the Danes and the Greenlanders looking downright cozy while they are protesting. They're not cold at all. And look at the Minnesotans. They are building protest sleds. They are out singing to ice. They are bundled up, and this cold is not deterring them at all. And it reminds me of something a friend of mine said years ago. It was brilliant, and I've never forgotten it. They said, there's no bad weather, there's only bad clothing. And I'm keeping that in mind, because we gonna be protesting for the long haul, y'all, and we cannot wait for nice weather to do it. So gotta up the gear.
Yeah, bro, that's some wild shit right there. Make America go away. Even Europe knows that MAGA is stupid. This is crazy. And the crazy thing is this too, what I told y'all earlier. I said, man, how many MAGA people do you know that are bilingual? And here go a woman who isn't MAGA, who just so happens to be from the Midwest near Chicago, and she bilingual, dog. I've never met a person who's MAGA and they're bilingual, dog, because MAGA is not associated with intelligence, with smarts, with culture, with any of that kind of stuff. Let's be real, dog.
I'm in San Sebastian, Basque Country, Spain, and I can report to you that Europeans tell me that every American who has a sense of themselves in the world, the first thing they say to any European they meet is, I'm really sorry. And I can report to you that every European I meet who finds out that I'm American, the first thing they say to me is, I'm so sorry for you. America isn't just the laughing stock of the world right now. America is the world's herpes sore.
Ooh, wow, he said herpes sore. Dog, you know what's interesting? When I was in middle school, 8th grade, I'll never forget the shit. It was kind of like my first time going to school with anything other than just black people. And yeah, I wouldn't recommend it. But there was a white boy named Alvin. He called me the N-word. I beat the dog shit out of Alvin. I'm a name drop him because I don't want y'all to ever think I'm on here capping. But anyway, long story short, another white dude by the name of Jacob heard him say that shit. And this was like 2-3 days ago. I mean, not later. I mean, he said, bruh, Man, I'm sorry, bro. We ain't all like that. I'm still cool with Jacob to this day, bro. Dead ass serious.
That moment when you go into a Northern Ireland bar and are immediately accused of being a bad person because you're from the United States. Doesn't feel very good. We went to just enjoy a beer and we're like, we don't want to talk about anything or anything like that. And if you're an American citizen, maybe just proceed with caution.
I don't need to proceed with caution when I'm traveling internationally because I know that the moment someone asks me if I'm American, I say yes, and I am so sorry. And the next thing you know, we're all laughing and bonding and sharing stories and buying each other rounds and having a great old time. I'm also not stupid enough to walk into a bar in Ireland and tell them that the reason I wanted to visit Ireland was because I wanted to visit every part of the United Kingdom. I'm also not stupid enough to say that I'm visiting Northern Ireland when I'm in the north of Ireland.
Stupid.
But it's always in the repost. She tried to tell everyone in the comments not to assume how she voted.
What I told y'all, MAGA is not associated with intelligence or smarts, common sense, logic, decency, things that I think most human beings should have or aspire to have, bro. Real talk. We're just not associating that. You're going to another country trying to bring that MAGA shit over there, bro.
So this is a PSA for the MAGA people that are thinking of traveling abroad, especially to Europe, and bringing on that MAGA energy with them. Don't do it, okay? They don't like you nor your orange president.
Ooh.
Trump was president for the first time. I remember being in Latin quarters in Paris and hanging out with a bunch of other liberal Americans and other French people, and they were feeling sorry for us. And all we did was nod our heads. Yeah, it is that bad. Can you imagine even now? Because we started a war that is unfounded. They hate us. Now, I have always said this because I travel abroad every year. And my favorite places, of course, are the UK and Germany, the same way. They hate MAGAs and they hate Trump. Now, I remember going to a wax museum and there was a Trump wax figurine, right? And I remember that a Trumper family was like, wow, yeah, Trump, he's the best president, and started taking pictures with this wax figurine. And the German people were like, what is wrong with this guy? And they were pointing and laughing at this family.
Really?
Now, I can imagine they probably removed that freaking statue.
As they should.
Because it's even worse now. Can you imagine? Now, my saving grace is because I am Puerto Rican and they love Puerto Ricans.
Boricua, mami.
Oh my God. Especially in Italy. These people got something with reggaeton. They love them some Bad Bunny. They love Daddy Yankee. And I am able to have a conversation. They are not looking at me with disgust.
No, I ain't giving
But when
Italy
I tell
a
you,
pass.
when you go into these small places, especially small German towns, they're looking at you like you're crazy. They don't like you, which is the reason why that lady was crying that they were talking about politics in an Irish pub in Ireland, is because they totally despise Trump. And hopefully by now they saw your video and they're thinking, we knew she was MAGA. We knew she was MAGA. You can't tell these people what to think and feel. This is their space.
Mm-hmm.
You're the one who needs to act accordingly. And wearing a MAGA hat or having that MAGA energy, you need to tone that shit down.
Tone it the fuck down.
Because you look foolish here in the US, you look even more foolish in Europe. So, yeah, stop with the MAGA attitude. It's especially in Mexico. You guys are...
Yeah, bro. Straight idiotic. Crazy. I ain't giving Italy a pass, though. I done seen too many videos of black people in Italy and just the N-word being hollered out for no reason, just unwarranted, bro. Nobody asked you to say that, sir.
Yes. We're asking people's opinion on the president, Donald Trump. What do you think about him?
They laughing.
I don't like him at all.
No?
I think he's quite narcissistic.
Narcissistic?
Yes.
Well, first of all, I have a lot of American friends who I really like. So on a personal level, I think it's a brilliant country. Politically speaking, it's crap. I think you're losing democracy at this moment.
Yep.
Really fast. I really hope that the elections will be fair in November. Then you might have a chance that democracy will recover. And otherwise, I think it's really bad. I think it's really bad. It's surprisingly to see how fast Trump can dismantle all the institutions.
Bro, dude's acting like an authoritarian, man. Like, I want all of the power. He's firing people. He's hiring people in positions to better help his case. The dude is just ridiculous, dog. He's trying to move towards fascism, dog. I can just tell. And then he say that he wanted his generals to be like Hitler's generals. Come on, bro. Like,
oh no, it's being directed at me, bro.
You black doing it. Oh, hell no, man. Why would you be black and wear a MAGA hat in another country? You make me sick to my stomach. I threw up in my mouth, bro.
I'm getting a sweaty word now.
Listen, bro, let me tell y'all some real shit. MAGA, black people, bro. If you getting stomped out by some people that hate MAGA, nobody's coming to help your black ass. I promise you. One of the few times that I've ever seen white people mind their business is when black people are getting beat up by anybody. They will walk right past your ass, dog. And I promise you that's what's going to happen. If those people went to stomping a mud hole in your ass and there absolutely were MAGA people around, they would not help you. Especially not your black ass, dog. Crazy.
I'm here to support the Greenlanders that have a very hard time, heavy time now, sleeping, very concerned. They are threatened to have their country invaded. I think it's totally unacceptable.
I want to show my support to Greenland.
Make America go away.
And to also show that I don't like the president of the United States.
He's just arrogant and a very big bully. He does not care of anything. His way of saying things are just so specific and so disrespectful and hateful that it's just hurting everybody around him.
Yeah, bro. That's sad when Europe sees it, but you can't see it over here.
US News won't show you this, but I will. This is from a weekly French news magazine, Le Point. The title says, "The Man from Moscow." Below that, the sub-headline states, "Putin and Trump, the alliance of predators." It's also important to note that this news magazine has a reputation for being center-right. This is a magazine that tends to support conservative values. In this article, the author goes on to compare Donald Trump's presidency to a geopolitical earthquake, even comparing it to the fall of the Berlin Wall in 1989.
Ooh.
And the author makes a pretty strong stance that Europe as a whole can no longer rely on the United States for security and stability. It then compares the United States' proposed offer of more continued support in exchange for valuable minerals from Ukraine as financial extortion. Article makes it clear you can still believe in self-reliance and strong defense without blindly following one dangerous leader. Even European conservatives are saying this, pushing for independence while still calling out this dangerous alignment between Donald Trump and Putin.
When a right-leaning foreign paper says that about you, something is not right, dog.
Accused of being a bad person because you're from the United States.
It doesn't surprise me, but it still blows my mind.
Now, this woman is
how
Canadian.
Americans, specifically MAGA Americans, travel around the world without doing any historical research, any political research. And they just assume that everyone's just like so excited for them to be there. Like, girl, unless you were in a like specifically unionist, anti-immigration, hateful little pocket of Northern Ireland, like maybe like somewhere small in East Belfast, they're not gonna like a Trump supporter. I feel like that's common knowledge. I went to Ireland last year, said my vows there, and without fail, anytime that we talked to an Irish person, and mind you, we weren't in the north, they'd ask us. They'd kind of get a bit closed off and ask us where we're from. And then when we'd say Canada, they would just breathe a sigh of relief and be like, fuck that Trump guy. I'm so sorry that you're dealing with that. And most Americans, because we were in like the height of the annexation conversation, with Trump threatening us, most Americans would apologize to us immediately. Like if we were on a tour or something like that, and we're going around saying where we're from, and we'd say Canada, and the next person would be like, oh, America, we're so sorry, we're so sorry. And then the tensions are amongst the group of people or the room that we were in would sort of settle. But it didn't always happen. There were times when we'd say we're from Canada, and the next person would be like, we're from Texas, we're from the United States. And they didn't say anything. And then everybody in the room, the Irish people included, would be like, that's awkward. Like, you're not going to say anything about it. You're fine with that. You're fine with invading their country. And you're really in the comments being like,
look at this
trying to
clown,
act
bro.
like you didn't vote for Donald Trump. And then posting shit like this, and then traveling to Northern Ireland is insane. Is insane. You have to realize that that's crazy.
Y'all know what's crazy, bro? I'm gonna show y'all something. This shit is funny, but it just goes to show you who they allow to vote, man.
Day 2 of the big beautiful bill, which I voted for, and I still have my benefits. Social Security, disability income, Medicaid, Medicare, food stamps, so everything's all good.
Dog, you can't tell me two siblings didn't come together to create this creature, bro.